In 1931, Papillon, a professional safecracker, whose usual day consists of breaking into mansions and stealing jewelries, which he delivers to his boss and in return is paid well. Until one day, after a successful robbery, he meets his boss and gives the diamond. Then his boss warns him not to hide any diamonds or he'll face the fate of a brutally beaten man. Papillon meets his wife and gives her some diamonds he had hidden from his boss. In the morning, a knock is heard, and when Papillon opens it, a group of officers barge in, charging him with the murder of the same person his boss had beaten up last night. Papillon is locked up and is subsequently visited by his wife, who claims to want to testify, but he prevents her from doing this as it won't help him. He encourages her to move on with her life, but she refuses. Knowing the police won't let him go, he plans to break out of prison and befriends an inmate who tells him that escaping costs a lot of money. He then points to a seemingly innocuous man named Louis Dega, saying that he is the solution. Apparently, Dega is a wealthy man who was apprehended for making counterfeit money, but he thinks he will make it home before Christmas with the help of funds he has hidden in a place where the sun never shines. Papillon approaches Dega, offering him a spot next to him for money, but he refuses. That night, Dega witnesses an inmate being strangled to death just beside him, and this triggers fear, which forces him to approach Papillon the next morning, accepting his offer. The following night, the killer comes after Dega, but Papillon comes to his rescue, engaging the killer in a struggle for survival just before the officers arrive to defuse the situation. Papillon is taken away and brutally punished, but he doesn't seem to care as long as Dega is still alive. The boat finally arrives at the prison at the penal colony of French Guiana, a heavily gathered fortress surrounded by water with a 0% chance of escape. The warden steps up to address the prisoners. The prison is full of deadly criminals, many of whom have been charged with murder. The next morning, a gunshot is heard, and all the prisoners are summoned to witness an execution. It turns out that one of the prisoners, Papillon's friend, tried to escape and was caught but managed to kill 2 guards. If someone is caught, they will be held in solitary for 2 years, and if caught the second time, quarantined for 3 years. If caught a third time, they will be sent to the notorious Demon Island, a place where prisoners go crazy. Anyone who commits murder will be executed. The warden orders Dega and Papillon to take the corpse to the burial site. Dega breaks down on the floor on the way while carrying a headless man. The guards begin to whip Dega, forcing Papillon to retaliate, and after the alarm goes off, he takes to his heels, leaving Dega, who couldn't move even an inch out of fear. Prior to this time, Papillon had met a boatman and offered him a large amount of cash in exchange for a boat. He is told to arrive at the shore the following night. In the present, Papillon is shot at while escaping from the guards. That night, Papillon arrives at the shore where he meets the boatman, who sells them out to a couple of guards sent by the warden, who pays the boatman a decent amount of money for revealing prisoners who attempt to escape. Consequently, Papillon is taken back to prison, and he is told that he won't be sentenced to death because the guard he attacked earlier on is still alive. He is held in solitary confinement in another island, dark and deserted, with just one rule: don't make noise. Talking to yourself is a punishable offense. The food is so bad and not enough, as prisoners here receive only 1 square meal per day. One day, Papillon receives a coconut in solitary, and inside it a note stating he will now get coconuts every day. He realizes that it was Dega sending the coconuts, and he happily eats the meal, which lasts him for weeks. But then the warden pays Papillon a visit after killing the guard who sent him the coconuts. The warden demands to know who has been sending coconuts to Papillon, but gets nothing out of him. As punishment, he decreases his already inadequate ration. Papillon is left to rot in solitary, and after a month, the warden returns, enticing him with a delicious meal to reveal the person who sent him coconuts a month ago, but Papillon remains silent. The warden decides to leave him in darkness for the rest of his sentence, plunging him into a terrifying situation with no food, friends, and daylight. He gets so weak that he is unable to move anymore and is taken to the prison hospital, where coincidentally Dega has been assigned to work after earning the trust of the director over the past year and a half. Dega locates Papillon and learns that he's only just pretending to be crazy, as he knew it was the only way back to prison.
I don't know how you made it. Leave now! Leave!
Well, the best thing that can happen to you is starvation.
Bring me some water.
you fuck me. I didn't know it would be like this. My friend and I need to be kept together at all times.
Get them to Route 0. Move!
Push it!
Pick up the pace! Stop! Stop! What's the problem? Keep it moving!
As soon as we get back to the barracks, you're taking it back.
The duo begin to plan their great escape again. That night, Papillon recruits Charrière, a prisoner who is constantly being taken advantage of. Charrière agrees to play a role in the escape. The following day, Dega and Papillon recruit Charrière, a strong and cunning inmate whom Dega gives all his savings to in the hope that he will use his connections to get them an escape boat. A movie night show is arranged and Dega is seen serving the guards with drugged drinks. Charrière tricks his sexual bully into having relations with him, buying Papillon and Charrière time to escape from the guards. They take out Charrière's bully and proceed to the exit where suddenly it begins to rain, so they are forced to wait for Dega, who returns to them. While the trio proceed to escape the wall using the power outage as cover, the power comes back on and Dega is yet to jump. He breaks his leg, forcing Charrière and Papillon to carry him, but they are confronted by armed men who turn out to be the guys who provide them with a boat. The prisoners finally sail off into the darkness. By morning, they notice they haven't gotten far from the prison due to overweight and punctured holes on the boat. A panic ensues after a storm is spotted. Then Charrière throws Charrière into the sea and goes after Dega, but Papillon gets in the way, leading to a bloody fight which Papillon is unable to win. So Dega stabs Charrière from behind multiple times, after which they throw him off the boat. The storm engulfs him. By morning, Papillon wakes up and finds himself on an island, rescued by a small community who saw them floating in the ocean. When he steps outside, a nun confronts him, assuring him that as long as he repents from his sins, he is safe. Papillon finds Dega and tells him that they have to leave as quickly as possible, but he refuses, saying their deal is over. He opts to stay in one place forever, tired of running. Papillon opts to leave alone, but as he approaches the boat, he notices two officers stopping. Then he returns to Dega, but it's too late. Charrière is gunned down while Papillon and Dega are captured and sent back to prison again, after the evil nun had given them away to the authorities. 5 years later, Papillon has diligently served his prison term in solitary and has been sent to the Devil's Island. On his arrival, he finds Dega there. He was brought to the Devil's Island shortly after returning from Colombia, the island on which they were caught. His punishment was harsher because he spiked the drinks of the officers. Both men are excited to reunite after 5 years. That night, Papillon gets an idea and encourages Dega that if they can make a small raft, the waves will take them to the nearest shore. At first, Dega is excited but later refuses, explaining that for the past 5 years, he has lived a peaceful life, without any violence or disturbance, and especially after learning that his wife got married to someone else, a reason to not return. After helping Papillon make the raft, the next morning both men hug and say their goodbyes, after which Papillon throws the raft into the ocean before jumping from the incredibly tall mountain. Instantly, the waves begin to take Papillon towards somewhere as both men scream at the success of their plan. In 1967, Papillon moves to Venezuela but is still a wanted criminal in France. However, in 1969, he is pardoned for all his crimes. Then he writes a memoir of all the events, intending to publish it. He returns to Paris after 38 years. This is Falcon Recaps. Thanks for watching.